Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, in a couple of moments, I will turn the camera around. Make sure you have your questions ready about the class, and we will talk about your research paper tonight. Thank you for the hearts, guys. I love those blue hearts. And I will formally introduce myself to you guys this semester because this is our first Periscope. And so I've been slacking on Periscope in the past couple of weeks. So we will definitely talk tonight. And please swipe to the right to invite other people from class if you have them on your Periscope account. Okay, we're turning it around. All right. Hey, guys. How are y'all? I am so excited, and for some reason, that is really bright. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so can everyone see me? Can everyone see me? Hopefully so. So I have my iPhone on at the same time. So I will attempt to read tweets and not retweets, but read tweets, as well as reply to all of your questions that you have. My name is Dr. Jennifer Edwards, and I work with an amazing group of grad students at Tarleton State University, and we are focused on applied social media this semester. And so I am really excited to talk to you guys tonight. And so let me tell you a few particulars of Periscope. The first thing is everyone who has thank you for joining, Crystal and Janet, and everyone who has a Twitter account also has their username for Periscope. And so you can watch this on the computer as well as you can just watch it on Periscope on the app as well. And so I have it on my iPhone as well as this account. Okay. Also, you can swipe to the right, and if you do, just swiping to the right, you can, if you are on an Apple device, then you can invite followers, and if you swipe from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, you can invite other followers from class. And so if you're on an Android device. And so if you can just please, I like to start everything with an icebreaker. So tell me any wins you've had this week. This is Wednesday, so you should have had some wins by now. Something especially amazing that you have encountered this week that has gone extraordinarily well. And thank you for joining Grad Dean. And let me introduce you to TSU Grad Dean. He's amazing. His name is Dr. Barry Lambert, and he is the person that's going to actually shake your hand whenever you walk across the stage at Tarleton. And so I know some of you are in communication, but others are in education and business, and as well as all over the spectrum for graduate studies. And so I wanted to introduce you to your grad dean. So TSU Grad Dean, if you can please put up some emoticons. And so all you have to do to add emoticons is on your keyboard, just touch the emoticon. It should be on the bottom left of your keyboard on the screen. And so just give some emoticons to let them know who you are so they can follow you as well. Okay, so I will try my best to do this from awesome, that is, oh goodness. And awesome, if you can follow TSU Grad Dean, he is, and let's challenge him to do a Periscope one day too. So he is the Grad Dean that will shake your hand after you, well, actually during the graduation process. Okay, so here is the time for you to ask any questions about your paper. And in the meantime, I will show all of you my app, or I will attempt to do so. I don't know how it will appear on the screen, but thank you for joining, Becca. It's good to see you. And I love seeing Becca on campus. She always has a smile on her face. And also, let me just, oh, also, I forgot to tell you guys, we're sponsoring a social media cruise. Yes, a social media cruise during spring break. And so that's an alternative spring break experience that you guys can have at Tarleton. And so awesome, it's good to see you too. And so with that alternative spring break experience, you can also get scholarships, international studies or study abroad scholarships for doing so as well. But we will, this experience will take the place of one of your assignments towards the end of the semester, so you don't have to enroll in another class. And I wanted to provide an opportunity for you guys to network with different people within the university who are going as well. So that's something exciting that you guys have to look forward to. Okay, so I will search on my app, and this is what it looks like. Oh my goodness, that is way too bright. Hopefully you can see it. But this is my app, and I am searching for 5311, which is the name of our course, or the number of our course. And so with the groups, I looked at each of the groups today, and I have to tell you, I am very proud, very, very proud of your progress on the paper so far. We have 5 groups in the course, and so someone give me permission to show your progress so far. And while you are doing that, I will show you what I am expecting this week. Okay, so one thing that I, as a leader, as an academic leader, I never ask anyone to do anything that I'm not willing to do. So I'm asking you guys to write a paper in a group this semester. So I'm going to write a paper too. And so my paper will be about cruising. And so I'm comparing the tweets from the 4 cruises that depart from Texas, and that includes Royal Caribbean. Thank you for inviting TSU grad dean. So I'm looking at Royal Caribbean, I'm looking at Carnival, Princess, and Disney cruises. And so each of those cruise lines actually, they recruit online. Hey, call me Jeff. You have a meeting tomorrow, and it is a potluck. But with the cruise industry, it's really neat because they are using some very inventive practices to recruit millennials to work for their cruise line. Okay, so, and this, let's see if you can actually see this. I will turn the screen around just one moment. Okay. I don't even know if you can see this. Okay, so barely, but it's there. Hey, Keanu. So what I did is I included the grading criteria for the paper. And so it has the working title for the paper on the top. And that's where you guys are actually putting in your, let's see if I can make it. Oh, that looks better. So that's where you guys are actually putting in your names up here. And then we have the problem statement. So basically the problem statement is, and I'm sorry you guys can't see everything, but we'll make it work. But the problem statement is what is going on in society right now that needs to be addressed. So right now, the cruise industry, the travel industry is seeking to hire people to work on their vessels, on their ships. And so they want to hire people who have no experience in the industry to train them. And so they also have no preconceptions about working on the ship and also no negative work habits, which is good. And so I added in the APA citations here. So that's a problem statement. And then I go down, and that's around 2 paragraphs. And then I go to the purpose of the study. So the purpose of the study is to examine the social media recruitment efforts of the 4 cruise industries that have ports in Texas. Oh no, Crystal. Okay, so if you can just look, just look along. Actually, it's trying to connect. Make sure that you are on Wi-Fi, and also this will be saved for 24 hours. This Periscope will be saved, and I will also upload it on my YouTube account and or on my YouTube channel in a few moments. But basically, it says the purpose of our study is to examine the social media recruitment efforts of the 4 cruise industries that have ports in Texas. Yay, Rachel! Awesome. Oh, awesome. You can listen to it on your laptop as well, but to interact, you have to have the app. And it says in the study, we will seek to discover the types of social media content, the level of engagement, and the most effective types of content produced by each of the cruise corporations. And to achieve the purpose of our study, we propose the following research questions. And here we are. In which ways do the 4 international cruise corporations with ports in Texas use Twitter to recruit employees for their cruise ship fleet? And then number 2 is, what are the most effective ways content, etc., the 4 international cruise corporations with ports in Texas reach new employees through Twitter? So they don't necessarily have to recruit employees from Texas, and usually they recruit employees outside of the country. But it's really neat to see how they are reaching their current and also their potential new employees. And then research question 3 is, how engaged are the 4 international cruise corporations with ports in Texas when recruiting potential new employees? Because we all know there are those Twitter accounts that basically tweet messages out but have no engagement. So how engaging are they? And also, which account is the most engaging account? And then I also have the references at the bottom. I don't know, and this is probably because I'm on my telephone, but the references look correct when I'm on the larger screen, but right now it doesn't look as it should. But again, I'm on my mobile device. Okay, so I have those. And then one thing I want to show you is you can edit these on your app. and then there's the little pencil right there. So you just press that to make edits. But let me show you at the top of the screen. I actually wanted to make this easier. I like to work smarter, not harder. And so one thing I did is that I added in, my search terms, so I don't have to memorize those every time. So my search terms for the databases were travel, industry, and recruiting, recruitment, or hiring. Then we have, and thank you for those aqua hearts. Then we have cruise ships and recruiting, and then cruise industry and millennials. So those are ways that you, as you search as an individual, that you can actually have all of those search terms saved on your document. So all of your group members can work very smart. So the next thing is, let's see if I can actually scroll down. There we are. The next thing is I have social media recruitment. And so that was one of the search terms that I used as well. But I use all of these on, basically, I use all of these on EBSCOhost. Do all of you know about EBSCOhost and how to navigate that? And give me hearts if you watched the video from earlier about EBSCOhost. I did that video a little bit earlier this semester, I think around 2 weeks ago, but it's from my YouTube account, and it basically talks about how you can hack the databases. Don't tell the librarians I said that, but you can work smarter in searching on the databases and not harder. So any questions before I go to the next thing? We have the problem statement, purpose statement, and research questions. So give me some hearts if you understand everything so far. And if you have any questions, just type the questions into the box below. If I knew how to give hearts, I would. So basically just tap on the screen, just tap. And I have to tell you, I have a 4-year-old. And so she's been using Periscope, not making videos, but she's been listening to Periscopes since she was 3. And so she loves tapping and giving hearts. But hearts are like social media currency in the Periscope world. So thank you for the purple hearts and also the yellow hearts. So that is what the purpose statement, problem statement, and yeah, you did do it, Rachel. Purpose statement, problem statement, and research questions. Now I will turn the screen around to ask you guys some questions. Oh, before I do so, do you see the Martin 2014 and Chutan 2015? Do all of you know about APA format? Because if you don't, the library has some great resources, and I can send those to you guys as well. Okay, if you have any questions, just type them in, and I will turn the camera around. And so to turn the camera around when you're periscoping, you just double tap the screen. Okay, yay, it worked. So as you can see, I operate on several devices to make class work, because that's how grad students have to do it, right? So like I said, this week, the research questions, the purpose statement, and the problem statement are due. And remember that the purpose statement is, let me back up. The problem statement is basically what's going on right now that either needs to be solved or addressed, or even to be examined. What is going on right now? So I like to always talk about my grandma. My grandma did not finish junior high or high school. So there's some things that I would love to tell my grandma about, but I have to bring my grandma up to date about certain things. So, you know, about social media and Twitter. And so to bring my grandma up to date, I basically have to put everything in layman's terms. And that's not talking about my grandma, but it's also helping her understand what's happening right now, because technology is evolving so fast. So tell my grandma, your grandma, anybody's grandma or grandpa or whoever about what's going on right now. So basically, she's never been on a cruise, so I have to tell her about the cruise industry, and I have to tell her about the problems that are facing the cruise industry. So that's my problem statement. My purpose statement is basically how we will, the purpose of our study is why you are even putting effort into doing the study. So you have the problem, and then the purpose statement is how you will address the problem, but also how you will, basically, is how you will address. Oh no, Crystal, you can't hear me. Let's see. Give me some hearts if you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, Crystal, then I will email you the link to this Periscope. Awesome. So I have 2 people who can hear me relatively well, and if not, I will send the link to you, Crystal. But just ask questions, and I hate to say just look at the screen, but you know, I will I would like to see the part of the periscope about the problem again. Can you email the link as well? Yes, I definitely will. And the problem statement is basically what's going on. Yes, I will definitely email it to you, Emily. But the problem is what's going on right now and how you can bring your grandma up to date, or my grandma, or anyone up to date. And let me show you how I got to that screen. So if I type in group 1, so I'm turning the screen around. Okay, if I type in group 1, and so this has all of your presentations, and so if I press group 1, then it says loading, and it has you know, everyone's, like, what they've done so far. But this is the document that I utilized for my sample document. So I'll link that here. So it says graduate research paper outline. Remember to use this document link as a template for specific descriptions for each of the following sections. And so if you click that, magically it will appear, hopefully. Let's see, open Google. And then it says loading, and that leads me to that paper. So all of you have that link on your paper. So you can look at the grading criteria. I grade everything with a rubric. And so with the problem statement, purpose statement, and research questions, this shows you exactly how those will be graded and the point value for those sections. And so that's how I grade those on Blackboard. And then we have the problem statement. So you can look at that at any time. Okay. Okay. Now, the next piece is, hey, thank you so much for joining. The next piece is, I want you guys to ask me any questions about research, let me know if you're having problems finding a certain topic, and I can suggest some keywords, and also I can help you guys research some certain topics as well, because I love the databases, especially EBSCOhost. And also the databases have the special gold paper on them, and so that gold paper will actually let you see how it should look potentially in APA format, a sixth edition. So when you click that gold box, and I have a video explaining like what that means, but when you click the gold box on your EBSCOhost document, it like suggests, it's amazing, but it gives you the APA format, and you just have to compare that against some other like your APA format journal, but your guide or the library guide, but it's a great resource for you guys. So I'll tweet that video out to you guys soon. But let me know if you're having any trouble finding anything, if you need some help defining your problem, your purpose statement. And I also just suggested research questions, like 3 or 4 research questions per paper. So I went in and I have comments for each of your papers. So we have the 3 things that are due this week. And then I didn't give you guys a lot to do in the book of ideas, because I know that this week is a little bit intense when it comes to working with your group members. I did read some comments focused on, oh my goodness, this is so complicated. I don't want this to be complicated. Now, like I said, I like to work smarter, not harder. So here are some ways that you can do this. You can all meet on the document at one time. And on the document, there is in the upper right hand corner, you see the comments button, but also right beside it is a chat button. So if you meet on the document at one time, you can actually click the chat button, and you can chat about the different sections. And also, I asked you guys to actually divide up the sections for the paper, because you can know who is responsible for each section. And so that really helps teams when they're working on papers. I actually write papers that way, and I work with undergrads, and they write papers that way as well. So I thought it would really help you guys, write group papers. Also, 2 more things that I really want to highlight for you guys. So we have the chat button, we have the comment button, we have the different sections. And so say if I'm responsible for the purpose statement, problem statement, and research questions for the items that are due this week, then that means that the other group members, the other 4 group members who are not responsible for the section this week, just need to add some comments. So just highlight maybe a word or 2 or a phrase in that person's section. And so just write a comment saying, great work, or you might want to think about this reference, or let me know if you need any support. And so what I do on the back end is that I look at your group work and the group engagement on each paper. So I will know whether or not you logged in, whether or not you engage with your group members, whether or not you even looked at the document, period. And also this week, and this is what I do every night, if I see comments happening on the paper, I'll jump in. And I will say, hey, do you guys have any questions? Or you guys were talking about this. Yeah, I eavesdrop, but I do it for your benefit, I promise. But if you have any questions that you're talking about amongst your group members, then I can jump in and say, oh, well, have you thought about this? And so that's if I catch it. But if something is happening in your group and I don't catch it, just reach out to me on Twitter. And I usually receive a notification right here to say, hey, so-and-so sent a message to you. And I usually check those until like 11 at night. And we have some class members in California. So, around 11, I'll get messages from them to basically say that, any questions that they have from that day. Let's see, anything else? Oh, yes. At the end of the semester, you have two options. And actually, you can choose both of them or just one or two. So, at the end of the semester, you have the option to submit your group paper, to a research journal, which is awesome. But also, you can submit it to a conference as well. So that's a great way as graduate students, no matter what you plan to do. And I actually didn't plan to go into teaching, but it found me. So I was really excited because my passion is here. But I wanted to go into PR and also social media. That wasn't even a thing when I was in college. So you just have to roll with the punches, and you never know where your career will go. And so that means research will always look great on a resume or on a curriculum vitae. And so that's what we use in academia. But research, whether it's a journal or whether it's a research presentation at a conference, I will do what I can to get you guys those opportunities. There's a conference call coming up very soon. So if you are like maybe graduating in December or graduating next spring, whether you're in communication or outside of communication, I always receive conference calls and I will push them your way. So there's a call coming up on, I think, March the 1st. So you guys can take advantage of that as well. Let's see. So we have the research paper and we also have the journal, which are options for you. What questions do you guys have? And while you're thinking of those, I just really have to give a firm shout out to the groups that are working really hard and they're engaging, and you guys are really exceeding my expectations right now. But it's only the beginning of the paper, so that could change, but make sure it doesn't change. And I guess while you're thinking of questions, let me just tell you a little bit about me. I actually have my master's in communication, and I have my doctorate in educational leadership. And so I attended two different universities in Texas, and had a great experience. And through those experiences, I still keep in contact with my grad professors. In fact, I'm going to a conference to present with one, and that's been over, oh my goodness, like over, I don't even want to talk about, like almost 15, 16 years since grad school. That's kind of scary. But, I still keep in contact with them. So I want you to know, even after this class ends, you guys can, and some of you have done that. You reach out to me and you say, hey, can you serve as a reference for me? Sure. Even if you're in an online class, I don't mind serving as a reference for you guys because we'll interact just like it's a face-to-face class. So no questions, I'm presuming? No questions at all? Okay. Well, if you have any follow-up questions, don't forget to use the hashtag TSU New Media, and that's the hashtag that I use for the 3 grad courses that I teach. And you guys can look back in the history to see exactly how social media has evolved, even in the past year and a half that I've been involved in the classes. And I forgot to tell you, I've been involved with social media since 2001. So back in the day when I was in college, we had some social networks, and so we tried to learn as much as we can. So I'll just tell you guys, try to learn as much as you can, because you never know how that will become a field for you. And I'm a blogger. I work with an amazing group of students with the Texas Social Media Research Institute, but I'm a blogger. I'm actually a mommy blogger, believe it or not. And so I have a great time working with these moms who and dads and many people who rock on social media. I mean, and when I say rock, they have a they have a following that amazes me every single time, like 36,000 followers, and they're in Texas and they're amazing. So if you have any questions about blogging, just let me know, and or connecting with brands. I have some resources with that, as well, or information about that as well. And that's it. And I feel like I'm rambling. No questions, guys. Just type in anything, and you could ask me anything about class or anything else. And this is your 2-minute warning, so any questions whatsoever. It is 9:04, and I guess I'll just ramble for the next minute. But I'm in Austin right now. Yay! Thank you for the hearts. I am in Austin for and actually I think Dr. Jatavia was here as well as my boss, and her name is Provost Murray. And so we were selected. Tarleton was selected as part of this premier program, and they only selected like 42 universities. So I get to represent Tarleton in Austin it's a really big conference. So I'm excited, and I will try to, as I told you, I get notifications here like all the time. Yeah, and yeah, I have Mickey Mouse on my watch. No one knows that except for y'all now. But basically, I'm excited, and if you have any notifications, just let me know. Or excuse me, if you have any questions, just let me know, and just send me a tweet. That's it. Okay, it's 9:04. Going once, going twice. All right, you guys have a great evening. And Crystal, Lynn, have a great evening. And I'll tweet this Periscope out a little bit later. Thank you so much, Rachel. You never know what to expect, so it's going to be an intense 3 days. So we'll see. Bye, guys.